Hello, everyone. So, this is actually a two-part episode. The next one will be released on Wednesday.
Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. We're going to be talking about self-confidence like we discussed last week. So I've been sort of thinking about how to approach this topic because I've read quite a bit on it over the years. And I think the first thing that I would like to talk about is fear. I think outside of self-confidence is fear. I think fear is possibly one of the most misunderstood things that are out there. And I would like to start out by saying that fear doesn't exist, right? Actually, fear does exist, but it only exists in your mind, right? And I think that fear only exists in your mind, but not just that. Fear actually is there to help you rather than cripple you. So a lot of people feel like fear is a negative energy or it's a bad thing, but it's not necessarily true. I think without fear, then you would cross the road when a trailer is passing, right? So I think fear is a good thing, depending on how you look at it, because without fear, our ancestors would have been eaten by lions and tigers, torn to shreds. But fear is only a good thing if you know how to use it. So if fear overcomes you and overtakes you, then I think that's when you're not confident in who you are. The basic fear that I want to discuss first of all is social heredity. Social heredity is fear that is almost inbuilt in us. So if you see a snake, you take off like a Ferrari, that's fear that is inbuilt in us as human beings. So that's social heredity. Fear is a super essential part of human nature. But there is an aspect of that fear that you need to deal with that is affecting you from moving forward, from growing, from taking chances, from taking risks in life, jumping on opportunities when you find them. Let's look at two main types of fears. Outside of the social hereditary fears, we're going to now look at two main types of fears. And these fears are fear of rejection and fear of criticism. So I believe, and I think Brian Tracy shared this as well in one of his books, that these two fears are what cripples professionals from taking chances in life. So you really want to look at what you're afraid of. So if you're afraid of this mouse, right? You pick up the mouse and you look at it and you say, what is it about this thing that I am afraid of? Why am I afraid of it? What is in my subconscious that is making me afraid of this thing? And how can I deal with that? There's a lot of stress in our society today, right? And what happens with the stress is that rather than you seeing the animal and then running away from it or dealing with it, trying to fight or whatever, you then subconsciously, you're basically treating your body. I'm not sure if this is making sense or not, but if you're stressed for that long, you're treating your body like the animal has come into your house and is living with you. So your brain is always like on high alert and you're getting stressed and then you're maybe getting sick or lost your self-confidence or maybe depressed. So you really want to look at fear and examine fear, whatever it is, whichever nature it comes in, and understand yourself and say, why am I afraid of this thing and how can I conquer this fear? So whatever your practice is, you really want to connect with yourself. Connect with who you are deep down inside and really get to understand things about yourself. Don't dismiss fear. Whenever you feel afraid of anything, don't dismiss it. Pick it up, examine it, look at it, understand it, and even appreciate it. I think you should. And then look at it. If it makes sense, then yeah, understand it and tell your subconscious, hey, look, this is what we need to do about this, and this is what we're not going to do about it. We're not going to be afraid of this person because this person is a human being, etc. Right? So fear of rejection, fear of criticism are like the two major fears. But I think you need to understand that anytime someone rejects you, they're just redirecting you. So rejection is redirection. There's nobody successful that can stand up and tell me that they've never been rejected from anything in their life. They've never been criticized about anything in their life. This is like a part of human nature. But the problem is when we're growing up, we weren't taught these things. So a lot of people grow up without this instilled in them. So it then affects them into adulthood and then they don't really know how to approach situations or take advantage of opportunities. So outside of these two major fears, we're going to look at 5 other fears. So the first one is the fear of loss of someone. The second one is the fear of poverty. The third one is the fear of death. Fourth one is fear of ill health, and then the fifth one is the fear of old age. So I think the fear of loss of someone is you're afraid someone is going to be unfaithful to you, or you're afraid maybe you're going to lose them, or maybe you feel like you don't measure up to who they are, or that the fear guides you toward. You want to be confident enough to know that you are enough. You need to be better every day, and you need to treat your spouse right, and you need to be understanding and be there for your spouse and be a partner in a relationship. But outside of these things, if the other person is still putting you in a very toxic relationship, and you're not confident enough to walk away from it, then it begins to affect your self-confidence, right? So you want to be confident enough that even if you lost someone that you loved with your whole heart, there's always someone else that is willing to love you just as you are, willing to connect with you as you are, without you getting stressed out and doing like 99% of the work in the relationship. There's always someone out there that would be willing to support you, to guide you, to partner with you on this life journey. I think this is sort of, if you grew up poor, this is kind of inculcated in you at a very young age. You just don't understand how to think in enriching thoughts. You don't know how to sort of look at situations and go, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, I can do this. When you hang around rich people or friends that are richer than you, you feel inferior to them because, oh, I'm not driving their car. I don't have this type of job, or she dresses better, or he dresses better, or she has a nice car, or he has a nice house, and his family is rich, my family isn't, so I'm going to feel very tiny and small. I mean, all of these sort of things, obviously your thoughts have a lot of control over how you feel, which we're going to be dealing with later in the series. But all of these kind of thoughts are not healthy at all, right? And again, it comes from this stemming fear of poverty. Some people, they have a decent car, they have a decent house, but they just don't feel that confidence in themselves. They want to have the best house. If they don't have the best house, they're insecure. If they don't have the best car, they're insecure. If they don't have the best looking spouse, they're insecure. So you really want to understand that, hey, look, this life journey isn't about me pleasing other people. It's about me being the best of who I am and being better than I was yesterday. And it's not about me being better than you or being better. I'm not in competition with anybody. You're not in competition with anybody. As long as you wake up in the morning, you do what you love, and you're earning from it, and you're engaged with it, you keep friends around you that support you, that love you, I think that's really all life is supposed to be. I mean, yeah, it would be nice for you to have billions of dollars in the bank and have a private jet. But if you're in good health, if you're happy, if you are engaging with people that support you, if you're building a good career, then I don't think that you should give room for the fear of poverty, right? Because fear of poverty is what makes you really feel inferior when someone else dresses better than you. And again, it's just like you're not connected to who you really are at the core. So you really want to connect with your core, with your essence, with, if you're religious again, with who God really says that you are. I think God doesn't look at things like, oh yeah, Christian's shirt is better than XYZ's shirt, or Christian's car is better than XYZ's car. I think God just looks at our essence and how we connect with Him. And there's nothing wrong with having the best car, the best house. There's nothing wrong with that. And I hope that we all get to achieve that at some point. But I don't think that feeling insecure and feeling ungrateful for what we have and just focusing on, I need to be successful, I need to have like billions in the bank right now, helps us get there any faster. I think what really helps you get there is by appreciating other people that have it. Hey, look, hey, you shared this post and you have this, or you just got married, I'm so happy for you. More money in your bank account. Just do well. And then you then go back and focus on yourself. And I think that's really what's missing in our generation today, where everybody just shows. I mean, I loved, like, this year was a bit different because people really showed their failures in the last decade, and not just like, hey, this is what I achieved and this is what I did. Especially there was one woman that showed about her professorship. She almost didn't get her professorship, but then she got it. I mean, it's things like that, right? That nobody gets to success without failure. Failure, I read, is on the path to success. Before you get successful at something, you have to fail many, many times over. Even when you're successful at one thing, you're still failing lots of times at other things. But you have to look at it as a process and as part of life. You're human in the end. So you can't say, I didn't get this money, so I'm going to feel bad. I don't have money in my account, so I'm going to feel bad. I don't have good health, so I'm going to feel bad. I mean, there are lots of things that are just waiting to make you feel bad every single day, right? I think life is already tough as nails as it is, but you have to be brave enough to be happy. I think happiness takes bravery, especially in this generation of social media and in this generation of just people just being vulgar with money and vulgar with wealth. So you want to really be the sort of person that is just content, right? Content is such an underrated virtue. And I think if you are content, it doesn't mean you're not ambitious. It doesn't mean you're not driven. It doesn't mean that you don't want to attain the height of your success. But at the same time, you want to also be grateful, you want to be content, you want to know that you are enough. I think we're working like 10 times, 20 times harder and faster than our parents did, or our grandparents did. But because everything is instant, everything is quick, microwave, you put this in the microwave and it comes out prepped, you do that and it comes out done. We've kind of missed the point of just enjoying the process and enjoying who you are and enjoying growing every day and enjoying discovery and learning. And yeah, making money as well, even though it's not a lot, but you're just content because the grass is always greener on the other side. And I think that's what life is. Life wants you to grow. That's why life says, oh yeah, this person is doing so and so. You should be doing that as well. This person is doing, but you also want to be able to take all of that in and still be content in who you are and still be driven and ambitious and sort of have that balance around all of these things.